I think people are kind of waking up that inflation is here, that Commie Biden cut off the XL pipeline. The price of oil went through the roof. Biden has the guts to blame Putin for it. I'm going, wait a minute. You're the guy that cut off the pipeline. There's capital gains and there's cash flow. And you got to know what you're going for. So in real estate or in stocks or in bonds, people most of the time are going for capital gains. So when a person flips a house, they're going to buy it for 100, goes to 200, they're going to net 100. But the trouble with capital gains is you pay tax on it. But the other part, there's always a boom and a bust. And I'm predicting the biggest bust in world history is coming. So it's going to be the biggest opportunity of all times because, Kim and I made our fortunes 2008 because, we had apartment houses and our tenants were leaving to buy their houses they couldn't afford. I mean, there was a thing called a ninja loan. No income, no job. But if you could fog a mirror, you can buy this $400,000 house. And so there's booms, busts, capital gains, cash flow. And there's a thing called, there's always the opposite. I was at the gym just now, and before everybody came out, I said, I felt for this guy. He says, I've been a bus driver for 40 years. I'm going to retire, and I can't wait. He's turned 65. I said, what do you got? He said, I got a 401k. I said, what's it filled with? He says, I just sold all my stocks at the top of the market. Then I went into bonds.
Right.
George, what did he just do?
The most stupid thing he could possibly have done. First of all, you should never put all your eggs in one basket, but especially not the bond market right now with all the money printing that you referred to earlier.
The reason I call it fake money is the more the Fed prints money, the rich get richer. Right. We have asset inflation right now. We have asset inflation in the stock market, bond market, real estate market. I mean, it's feeding the rich. So UBI, MMT, quantitative easing, making the rich richer. Unfortunately, the middle class will pay higher taxes because the rich don't pay taxes. But what it does, when you have universal basic income and MMT, the poor get poorer. So they can't, so if you're a poor person, you can't afford a house now because the real estate prices are so high.
Yeah, right.
And if you have universal basic income, I don't think a bank will touch you, if you want to buy real estate. Well, I'm an entrepreneur, but if the crash wipes out your business, you have no cash flow. And what happened when a COVID hit for Kim and myself, cash flow went up. Because the market was demanding more financial education. It's always going up and down, in and out. And that's what investing is. It's the capital gains, cash flow, boom, bust, liquidity, all this stuff. And that's what financial education is. It's not this poor guy who says, I have a 401k and I was told to sell all my stocks and get into the bond market. Inflation might be here to stay. And the problem with inflation, this is my personal thing about it, it makes the rich richer. But it makes the poor poor. I mean, literally poor. And then the middle class is hit the hardest. And the thing that concerns me is, I wrote my book, The Capitalist Manifesto. And revolution starts when the poor can't survive. Because, like when you go to the store and a piece of celery is $20 and today it's oil. And all this. So the question today is, what do you do? How do you hedge against what's coming? Because when Biden, when that Commie Biden cut off the XL pipeline, the price of oil went through the roof. I was buying oil at $30 a barrel, or selling oil at $30 a barrel, and then it went to $130 a barrel. So I got really rich. But it wipes out everybody else. And that's why then Biden has the guts to blame Putin for it. I'm going, wait a minute. You're the guy that cut off the pipeline. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a political show. We're not CNN and we're definitely not Fox. But we better start paying attention. So let me say, what do you see with inflation? Because, this is why I say I'm an oil guy. I own lots of oil. And like I said, we were selling it for $30 a barrel. Then it went to 100. I think today's 105 a barrel. So I'm making a lot of money. I don't know if you know this, but oil provides fertilizer. And fertilizer is what keeps the crops growing. So you're going to see food prices climb, and then the cost of getting the food to the supermarkets and all this. It just gets to be worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so that's when Biden cut off the pipeline, what's that thing called anyway? He made me a rich man, then he blames Putin for it. I'm going, what? These guys are cartoons. They're jokes. I mean, as a Canadian, you must be looking down here and said, Americans are nuts right now, aren't they? Biden has cuts it off here. I mean, he's cutting our oil supply. I mean, I produce oil, so I'm not concerned at all, but he cut the production of America down. And
Right.
so, and then the biggest problem is, for the last few years, all wars are about oil. What happened to Pearl Harbor when not my relatives, thank God, but they bombed Pearl Harbor because Roosevelt cut off oil.
Yeah.
And they said, you screw you, we're going to bomb you. So I watch what's happening in the Ukraine, and then Biden goes to Saudi Arabia. And then this was the biggest thing of all, Jay. I don't think anybody saw it. Saudi Arabia agreed to sell China oil and trade in the yuan, the Chinese currency. What does that mean to you? I don't think people know the history of the dollar. It's a petrodollar. The U.S. dollar is what everybody trades, not only in food and stuff like that, but they traded oil in dollars. And so that's why when I saw that happen, I said, that Biden is a son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. The moment that they start accepting yuan, I mean, why doesn't Biden, I guess his family does work for the Chinese government, don't they? I mean, Hunter gets paid a lot of money by, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really can't believe it. But the point here is this, what are you going to do about it? And I'm very bullish on gold. We have I have control of tons of gold, not just ounces. And because to me, gold has been money since God came around. Gold and silver are God's money. Bitcoin is people's money. It's the dollar, and I still see Americans saving dollars, or Canadians. I'm going, what the heck are people? Are they nuts?
Hopefully, the video was informative and enjoyable. Don't forget to push the like button, and if you're new, subscribe and click the bell icon for more updates.